What is up, guys? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host Heather C. So, Unexpected, season 5. We're on episode 12. 12 episodes in. There's only a handful of episodes left, guys, and it's going to be the tell-all, two-part tell-all, which we're super excited about. First things first, Kylan and Jason were not on this episode, so we will have to wait and see what is going on with them next week on their way home from the hospital. And trust and believe there will be drama. There will be drama. We did get to see a couple return after some time being not on the episodes, which is Lily and Lawrence, right? So we've seen Lily and Lawrence move into their new apartment. We've seen all of the craziness and chaos that has taken place since, and now they are looking to get married. And they've never really agreed or came to an agreement eye to eye on anything so far since they've moved. And this wedding is not a exception. Lawrence feels like they can't afford it. And as they pull up to this country club golf course and they see this beautiful venue, he really feels like this might be something that we're not going to be able to afford. What do you think that they should do? Do you think they should wait and get their finances in order and get married when they can afford it? Or do you think that they should hurry and get married and rush and make sure that they're married right away?
I think that they should just wait. I mean, I'm with her mom. I don't understand what the rush is. Like, you just moved in. You're trying to see how you cohabitate together. You know what I mean? Like, you got to see, like, what it's like to actually live under the same roof together with no help, just you and the children. You know, how are you going to divvy up bills? How are you going to afford all this stuff? And it's like, just to make sure that you're strong enough to make it in the end, in the first place. I think that I don't understand like what the rush is. Obviously they love each other. Obviously they have a child together, and they are co-parenting her daughter together. So I don't understand like why they feel like their relationship is going to expire if they don't get married. I mean, it's not like how it was back in the day, when our grandparents and parents were growing up, and it's like, you got married and then you had, a baby. It's so untraditional nowadays that there's so many different relationship statuses and living situations. You really don't have to be married to be together and love each other. So I'm with waiting.
I agree. They're 20 years old, and for what they're doing at their age, they are doing amazing. There are people 10 years older than them who don't even have it halfway as together as Lily and Lawrence do. So I feel like they should just take their time, don't go into debt, and make decisions together. And like Lawrence said, when he's talking about finances, he feels like Lily isn't listening. Take this time to educate her and bring her into the finances so you're a team as one, so she understands what you're going through and your feelings. And I feel like that's going to be the key to making this all work. All right, so there's one person on this season that has not had her baby yet, and I am talking about Taylor. And Taylor is 40 weeks pregnant, and there's a lot of drama. So first of all, Noah has COVID. He has COVID, and he had very, very bad symptoms, vomiting all over, hours, IV in the hospital, all the 9 yards of the symptoms. And she's 40 weeks pregnant, and it's time for her induction. And she's worried that since she could possibly have COVID, she doesn't know how this was going to go and if Noah will be in the hospital. We learned that Noah no symptoms of COVID, but Taylor now has COVID during her labor, and this is making things even more complicated. And she's worried because she doesn't know if her symptoms will be mild, if they'll be severe, and how this is going to affect the delivery. So there's all types of drama there. And then her induction day is actually a birthday party, which Tyra actually did invite her to. So it looks like they're squashing the drama, right? And Tiara said even the sisters might not be seeing eye to eye. The kids will not suffer, and she does want the kids to be together at the party. There's a really good excuse for Taylor's absence. She's in labor and she has COVID. So I feel like this is not going to be a setback in their reconciliation.
I don't feel like anybody was upset with the fact of her not coming. I mean, she had a pretty valid excuse as to why she wasn't. I like that Tyra is trying to keep the family together. Like, she's the glue. She's like, you know what, even though, you guys didn't see eye to eye, we're still family in the end. And I want, Layla to grow up around her siblings, around, her cousins, all that stuff. So I commend her for being the bigger person. Sometimes it's hard to be the bigger person, but it's beneficial for the children. And I also like that her sister, even though she's being very like stubborn and she's like, I'll take it to the grave. I don't have to ever love you again, you know. But I like that she's looking past all that and she's like, you know what? I'm not going to do this to my kids either. So at least they put their children first. and, put their feelings aside. So hopefully the end result, they'll be able to squash this and just be a family again.
I think time will make that happen. They grew up very, very close, and when someone does something that pisses you off, it does take time. And with the distance between them, it's not easy to mend because with Tierra being so far away, and not seeing Taylor every day, I feel like if they were physically in the same in the same town, in the same place, they would be able to squash this faster because their kids would be playing together. They would see each other at mutual events, and the hard feelings would soon start to dissipate. But since there's so much distance, I do believe distance is easy to keep a grudge. When you don't see someone and you don't interact with someone, those hurtful and angry feelings stay in place. So I'm hoping that once they see each other and they're closer together and their kids are playing together, this will all be a thing of the past and there'll be one big tight knit family once again. All right, that's it for part one. We're going to come back for part two and talk about Emerson and how things are going in her new house. And we're also going to talk about Jenna and Aiden and how things are going in their relationship, if there is still a relationship. Guys, I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. Make sure you're live tweeting with us every Sunday night. I'll put our Twitters here at the bottom, and we will talk to you all really soon.